So huge growth areas in terms of mobile and internet, and mobile is an area that everyone knows that it's a big potential, but nobody was able to crack it till now, right? Nobody was able to know how we can use this massive medium that reaches everyone, everywhere. But now, the increase in mobile penetration, internet penetration, I think that's the opportunity out there. To summarize the different trends and consumption trends in the Arab world, there's a huge direction towards Arabic content. There was no initiative to invest in Arabic content that went down in terms of traffic. We, in Maktoub, we launched a woman channel, just a normal, typical woman channel that has content. In 1 month, we had almost 600,000 visitors to this channel. So people want content, and if you look at most of the predictions for this year and next year, content is the biggest title and the most used title now in all conferences and all media markets, because that's where the investment is needed, and that's where the users obviously are. And when we talk about content, we can talk about user-rated content, we can talk about produced content, premium content, and that's not related to us as media. It's related to you as owners of brands and owners of companies and people who want to generate sales. If you want to connect with the consumer and get more sales, you have to give them something valuable, something that relates to them. And it all goes within the environment and atmosphere of content. Email is still a key driver to internet and instant messaging. Facebook and social media is picking up big time, and soon now Facebook will have an email entity. So instead of receiving a message, just a normal text communication, Facebook very soon will be introducing Facebook email.
The same Google will do. Will open a social
media. Yeah, and Google will do a social media. Yeah.
Where shall we go?
You just have to try, right? And you're the user.
Yeah.
So you do whatever you like. That's what I'm talking about. Now the number, some people say 60, some people say 50, so I think a safe one will be 55. And tools are there, big players like Google, Yahoo, Maktoub, MSN, and many other big players are out there. Technology and targeting tools are there, we're going to talk more about them. But how much money is being spent on this medium? Yes, it's big, but are we utilizing it? No. That's a pop quiz. Anyone wants to answer this question? No answer?
Say it again.
What's black and white and completely over? Yes, newspaper. So, despite the fact that there are major challenges to what we call it offline media, it's not like they're going to die or they're going to go away. People will not stop reading newspapers, will not stop seeing TV, will not stop reading magazines. But users are changing, and the time spent on each medium is changing. But the money spent from advertisers on those mediums are not changing. And it's just like we're all sitting in a comfort zone out there. Still, we can see 57% of media spend, and I don't know how accurate those numbers is, but just give an indication. Are still on TV, magazine, and newspaper, almost 40%, and still online is 1% of the total ad spend. And regardless of how much this medium reaches, the spend per internet user that we do as marketeers and brand managers and companies, we're still within the limit of $1.5 to $2 per user. And internationally, it's almost 32 per user, and in the US, it's 100. And we're still at $2. That shows that there's something wrong in terms of like balancing out the reach per media. And there was a recent study that was issued last week, actually, and that said 11 million is the number, the right number for newspaper circulation in the Arab world. So combine all newspapers together, they circulate 11 million. So now somebody will argue with me and tell me, okay, it's not 11, it's 15, it's 20. But still, that's a very small number. We spend 40% of our budgets. I'm not saying don't spend on newspaper and magazines. I'm not saying that. They're great, because we as Yahoo, we spend on, like, pick any media, any media now, magazine or newspaper, you find Yahoo out there. But there has to be, this slide has to be balanced out by us as marketeers. Although we at Yahoo and major industry players here don't like, I have like colleagues from Aina and I think MSN. Anyone from MSN here?
Just a bit.
Yes, they don't like attend the Yahoo presentation. Although we don't like the way things are going, and we think that there has to be a major change, still we're growing at a rate of 50% each year. And in the year of crisis last year, we grew 30% as an industry. We at Yahoo grew at Maktub grew 70%. And I was telling one of my friends here now, like 30% for growth last year is a big thing. That shows that this medium has a very big potential out there. So quickly on why internet works very well, simply because it works. When you use it, you realize it works. For the targeting opportunities it gives to you, for how measurable your campaigns can be, and how measurable your options can be. If you want to know who you want to target, there are lots of information out there. As we all know, like, anytime we want to communicate with anyone about anything, right, there's an area where you have to make people aware that you're there, right? And then when you make them aware, as a brand, or as a company, or as a product offering, or as a promotion, you have to educate them about it. Tell them, what is it all about? For them to make a decision. And then you start talking to them about sales and converting them to your product, right? And after you have lots of people buying your product, you start building your loyalty, your loyal consumers, because those are the people that stays with you. And then after that, you start figuring out who are your advocates. Who are the people who are referring other people to come buy your brand? And this is really a major thing for any marketeer and company owner within our industry, right? And that's reflected in online. That's what online is good at: conversion, loyalty, and advocacy. That's where you talk and talk and talk. You have space to talk. You don't have just a half page or a 30-second TVC to tell people about your product. You can have millions of pages if they are relevant, and if you are able to have people stay on those pages and read more about them. And that goes back to how appealing your product is. Online gives you the space. So you just need to use it and learn by time how to use it better. The amount of information that we know about our user, who's browsing a page, or a service, or an online website, is huge. And the opportunity you guys have, be it again a company or a brand or an advertising agency, is amazing. This is something we're not leveraging till now. We can know those people are interested in a cheap hotel, or a comfortable flight, or a time-sensitive flight, or car rentals, or anything, right? We can know, depending on what they do online, depending on the content they're reading, on the search terms that they use, what kind of interest they have, and we can target them accordingly. That's what made online globally the major medium that grew almost 80% over 10 years. And that reached now into limits that really, it's bypassing outdoor and radio in UK. It's going to bypass TV very soon. In the States, it's 12% of total ad spend. That was made online a very appealing medium for marketeers. The amount of information we know about users. Now, there's an argument that's set aside here about privacy and how can we use those information. But the basic information we have, it's better than any other medium that potentially gives you this information. Add to that online is a technology medium. A huge amount of capabilities and targeting technologies that matches the two. You have information, but you can have information. I know, for example, that 50% of the people that passes in Verdun are people who are most probably, for example, are paid more than $1,000 a month, for example. But can I target those in Verdun Street? Maybe, if we're creative, but when we talk about online, you have the information and you have the technology to pinpoint those people. I'm not saying 100% accuracy, but for sure, way better than any other medium in terms of targeting those people. I want to target only people who are searching for flights to Washington. That's possible if you use any content site or any search engine. I have a flight that goes, if I'm an airline and I'm launching a flight to Japan, I can target those people who are interested, and I know that they go to Japan once or twice a year, depending on the interests they have, or their nationality, a Japanese living in UAE, or whatever. We can find ways to pinpoint those people and target them. And more than targeting them, following them and tracking them in terms of behavior. So I target this guy will click on my ad and then go read my content, and then I can track what they do out there. And this is really an opportunity we all